Welcome into Real Kipper and Born. No Kipper today. I am joined by the great JD Bunkus, who I'm going to introduce in just a moment. I just did. Let's just say hello. Hi, JD.
Hey.
Hi. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you today. We are still live on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, Sportsnet 960 in Calgary, Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver, and Sportsnet Plus. Technical directors Jake Schultz and Derek Brandeo. And as always, this hour of Real Kipper and Born brought to you by Bet365. Bunk, how are you, pal? What's going on?
I always want to know where Kipper is.
Wedding? Wedding in New
He's-
Jersey, I think.
He was actually funny. He was like,
He's a gallivant.
Yeah, he gallivants.
he was actually like, hey, just so you know, Monday, you can call me in the car. I'm going to be driving back from a wedding in New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I was like, why don't you just not do that?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, okay. He agreed.
Yeah. Maybe he wanted to give your show the big scoop.
Do you think there is one?
Well, he gave one to not your show.
Oh, yeah. Last week when we were talking about, when he talked about Marchand.
Yeah.
He went on with the
yeah.
other guys.
Yeah. I was like,
I hammered.
you got a show, right?
What's funny is he'll often give it to us about
evolving.
going on other shows and being like, you don't want to give the good stuff to the other shows
Yeah.
or whatever. He's aware of what's going on.
Yeah,
so.
he came in and I was like, you should have done it. He's like, oh, what?
Yeah.
He said he goes, everyone knew that.
Everybody
Yeah.
do. Everybody do.
How have you guys enjoyed watching the Panthers celebrate their Stanley Cup victory?
So
Hard.
Yeah?
hard for you?
No, like, they're celebrating it hard.
They,
and
I
it
will
is-
say, it looks exhausting. I can't help but feel like, God, they must be tired.
the most 40-year-old guy thing I've ever heard.
I think a couple things. One is I've seen some blowback on Twitter from fans of the Oilers and some others that have gone like, this is such a classless way to celebrate the way that they've...
classless. What a dumb word.
I know, but that's it, where they've gone, oh, they didn't have to call out the Oilers, like Marchand wearing the losers crest.
I will say I didn't love that.
I love it. I just, again, for a sport that is aching for genuine animosity, like that thrives in animosity.
Of course.
Why do you
I
remember
know it's good.
Avalanche Red Wings, right? It's like, did they get along or did you watch a documentary on it 20 years later because they hated one another and
Right.
it was a blood feud? So I love that stuff. I think that we don't get enough of that in modern day sports, especially North American sports, where it's like true blue hatred.
Yeah.
Like we got that one report where it was, hey, the things that are being said between these teams is crossing a line. And I went, amazing. Where can we hear it?
I want to hear that.
How much would you
I
pay
wanted to go to
for the live feed?
Well, it's always been our thing. It's like HBO should sell like the rights to like the
Yeah.
on ice microphones, and then it would get shut down literally like
Yeah,
a week later
immediately.
because of
Yeah.
all the bad stuff that was said.
When they said bad stuff, they meant really bad stuff.
Yeah. I think the Bennett thing with him being up there, like I understand what he said, but basically being like, yeah, we're dirty and we get away with it and we want it or whatever.
That's cool.
I do think
I got
that
no problem.
I don't have a problem with him saying it, but I do think that's a bit of a tough look for the league, having a guy being up there being like,
But he didn't say I get away with
Well,
it. He
they-
said like people complain because
Yeah,
we're
but-
dirty.
yeah,
and
and
I
they are.
apologize to absolutely.
Yeah,
They did
yeah.
the Conor McGregor line, and then did Kachuk go up after?
I don't know.
Because
I just saw the
Kachuk
one thing.
tried to deliver the same line.
Hey, they're foggy, pal.
It was real bad, but he did the I would like to apologize to absolutely nobody line after Bennett did
If he
it.
did, everyone was looking around like,
Yeah,
did
and he said,
catch
I was
the-
thinking about one of my favorite lines, and I went, wait, who went first on this? Because this is actually really important.
They've been
to
at
me.
the elbow room for 5 days.
Yeah.
I think
But this is what I mean. It's like, honestly, I watched them the first night, and I was like, you should get to sleep. This tomorrow's a big day.
Hasn't this made you? yeah.
they're like, how about we just drink all night again? How's that sound?
Hasn't this made you want Marchand more though in Toronto? Just from like the media.
Hold on, I
standpoint?
just want to say on the Oilers losers logo, it was the one thing in all this where I was like,
Why?
you know, you're supposed to celebrate your team's success and not celebrate the other team's failure. I know, but it takes someone to legitimately do something you consider offensive or across the line to create this real hatred or animosity that you're talking about, which is good. I recognize it's good. I also think it's
But it'd be weird if it was like Barkov. Then I would go, kind of cringy.
But did
But
they
the guy with
chant-
the nickname The Rat, it seems.
yeah, okay.
fine.
So what? It's like he's green lit.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
kinda. You can get away with anything.
Yeah, he's a made man.
He's gotten away with it, but it feels like you earned the rat label there.
Yeah.
Did they chant F. McDavid too at one point? Was that a thing that I saw some people
Yeah,
reporting
well,
around?
I don't know if they were chanting at the bar was.
yeah. They were taking part. They
You know,
were
but
enjoying
Barkov
the
did
game.
have on the Instagram feed like "Thank you Bruins," like in response to whatever.
Yeah,
with
I
the
like
picture.
that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
I
that.
like that one. I like all the
Listen.
hey, thanks for your cast
Yeah.
offs.
You know, all they're doing is the scene in what's Scarface? You want to see a bad guy? I'll be the bad guy. Like, that's them. They're just embracing it. They're realizing that it doesn't matter what they do, just like Al Pacino in Scarface, where he's trying to put on the mask of a legitimate businessman. And yet when he goes out to the restaurant, people still look at him with a raised eyebrow. And so he loses his mind. He's like, you know what? Fine. I'll just be who you think I am.
Right.
And that's all the Panthers are doing, so I'm into it.
And now their legacy is totally cemented, right?
Yeah.
With the 2 cups. So it's like they can do and say whatever they want. Like now they're feeling like truly on top of the world. 1 cup's one thing, but back-to-back cups, 3 straight finals, it's like they are, you know,
there is a level of it though, Stan, where we're watching this stuff where it's like they're trying to be like the we don't care, whatever. They've earned the right to do it. At the same time, kind of feels like
well, there's 2 things. There's
cringy.
There's a 2 things that. There's 2 things that bother them a lot and they bring up all the time is the state tax thing. They cannot stop talking about. They're talking about it more than other people are talking about it now. And the fact that they have no fans. They are talking about it. So it's like, oh, they don't have any fans. Like, oh, the people at the bar on the street that your parade's going down happen to be looking out the window. Wow, what a
Same
parade.
bar that's probably filled with Panthers fans for every game. It's like the one hot
So those
spot.
are the 2 things that really seem to be bending them out of shape.
I didn't think that the team Twitter account should have tweeted like, oh, they say we have no fans, like with some pictures of the fans or whatever. It's like, don't lean into it.
It was like 96% of homes didn't have the game on that they wanted in Florida.
They weren't being literal when they said you have no fans.
Right. It's like you have significantly
You have less than every other market that
By
cares
far.
about this sport by a significant margin, and that's what people are pointing to. I will say to your cringe point, it's just, for me, there's stuff I enjoy. Like, I've really enjoyed Marchand's run because it feels very authentic to me.
for sure.
Whereas
You
when I see
him wasted
Kachuk,
trying to go back to the bar and they're trying to pull him out of it. I'm like, that's
what I mean.
great.
I love it. I love
He's-
seeing that stuff. And so when I see the thank you to the other teams for Brad Marchand, who took a sweetheart deal
Fits.
with the Bruins, went to them hat in hand and said that he wanted to get something done because being a Bruin meant something to him. And then the organization went, we're going to go in a different direction. No thanks. I don't mind him expressing his anger. And it's like we loved it when it was the Misfits for Vegas. So why not do it for guys that were castaways for the Panthers? Like for Hagee. Like there's so many of those guys.
Seth Jones.
Seth Jones was viewed as like an untouchable contract in the NHL.
was like a failure before he got there. People thought he was no good too.
So yeah, I just think that's a part of sports. But again, to the Marchand point, I like it when it feels authentic and funny. And I'm not trying to take a shot here, but I feel like Kachuk stuff is forced. That he like wants to be the villain. Yeah. That he's like, and I'm also the bad. And you're like,
it's not nearly as natural.
Like the other 2 guys, Bennett and Marchand, kind of stole the face of what you were for the last team. And now it feels like you're trying to do the like, and I'm going to shotgun a beer. It's like, okay.
Everyone is.
Whoa, okay. Like, relax, bad boy of the Florida. Like,
the Marchand thing, though, the thing that you said that you're like, oh, doesn't that make you want him in Toronto more? The thing that actually makes me want him in Toronto more is the night they're out there, they win the cup, they're partying, they're whatever, and he shows up at Dairy Queen at 11 a.m. the next morning and is signing autographs and taking pictures. I'm like, that's just, you can work hard and play hard. I'm like, he's signing pictures of her kids and all that
but
stuff. I'm like,
funny.
I love that. It's
genuinely
amazing.
funny.
But like, how many guys actually show up for that? Like, what are they paying him? Nothing. Like compared to what he's made in his career, like he's made
it's